There is not, it turns out, only one kind of strife. Rather, over the earth, there are two. The first someone would praise when he knew her. The second's worth blame. Their natures are different completely. The one fosters war, that evil and quarrels and contests, the hard-hearted one. Her no man would be close to. It is by necessity, through the design of the gods, men honour this strife, this burden. But the other, the firstborn, the child of dark night, Zeus, son of Cronus, high-throned, who dwells in brightness, set in the roots of the earth, and for men, she is better. It is she who stirs an unhandy man, even him, to start working. For one man watches another and feels then a longing for work. When he looks at a rich man who hastens to plough and sow and set his household in order, so neighbour envies his neighbour as he hastens towards wealth, for this strife is a good one for mortals. And potter is rival to potter, and craftsman to craftsman, and beggar is jealous of beggar, and poet of poet. Perses set these things in store in your heart. Don't let the strife who relishes evil keep your heart back from work, with you looking after quarrels in the marketplace, a listener in and a cheat. The season for quarrels is short, and care for the marketplace, when the year's living is yet to be stored, inside in the barn it's in its season, the living that earth bears, the grain of Demeter. When you have plenty of that, go on with your quarrels, disputing after other men's goods, but you'll get no second chance for that work. So come, let us settle our quarrel instead right now with straight judgments. Straight judgments are from Zeus and the best. For already we had divided the farm, but you kept on grabbing, carrying off the most of it, feeding the kings with great glory, gift gobblers who like judging this kind of justice. Idiots. They don't know that the half is more than the whole, nor what is good about mallow and asphodel. For the gods have hidden our livelihood and hold it from us. Otherwise, easily, you could work for a day and have enough for a year and do no more work. You could put the boat's rudder up over the fireplace in the smoke and let the works of the oxen go hang and of the long labouring mules. But Zeus hid it, enraged in his heart because crooked-minded Prometheus tricked him. And so for men Zeus plotted grief and trouble. He hid fire. And Prometheus, bold son of Iapetus, stole it back from the side of wise Zeus in a fennel stalk and gave it to men, and Zeus, who delights in the thunder, did not notice. So in anger, Zeus spoke to him. Zeus, who gathers the clouds. Son of Iapetus, all cunning, wily in plots, you delight in your stealing of fire and in outwitting me. It will be a plague, a great one, to you and to men to come. I too will give them a gift, an evil one, answering fire, in which all will delight in their hearts as they embrace their own evil. So he spoke and laughed, the father of gods and men, and he ordered famous Hephaestus, as quick as he could, to mix earth with water and to put in a human voice and human strength and make the face like a goddess immortal and shape a maiden's most beautiful form. And Zeus bid Athena to teach her works, how to weave the varied, intricate web, and he told Aphrodite, the golden, to pour grace around her, and her hard longing and knee-weakening care, he told Hermes to put in the mind of a bitch and the heart of a thief. Hermes the guide, the messenger, and the slayer of Argus. So he spoke, and they obeyed him. Lord Zeus, Cronus' son. And right away, Hephaestus, the famous laying god, formed from earth, one like a revered, modest maiden, as was Cronus' son, great counsel. And bright-eyed Athena, goddess, clothed and adorned her in the graces, bright goddess, and the lady Persuasion, put gold adornments on her, and the Horae, the lovely-haired seasons, crowned her with flowers of springtime, and all her ornaments Pallas Athena shaped to her body. And then Hermes, the slayer of Argus, the guide, put into her breast lies and wheedling words and the heart of a thief, fashioned at the plan of loud thundering Zeus and speech. The god's herald placed in her too, and gave this one, the woman, a name, Pandora, all gift, since the gods on Olympus gave her all as a gift, a bane to men who eat bread. But when the deceit, sheer and without cure, was finished, Zeus the father sent Hermes, Argus slayer, the god's famed messenger, to Epimetheus, afterthought, bearing the gift. And Epimetheus never thought of what his brother Prometheus had told him, to take no gift from Olympian Zeus, but send it right back, lest it turn out some kind of evil for men. So Epimetheus took it, and then, when the evil was his, he knew what it was. For before this, human tribes had lived on the land clear of evils, distant from harsh toil and pain and diseases, the givers of doom to men, since mortal men grow old quickly in evil and hardship. But the women took the great lid of the jar in her hands, and scattered them, and contrived grief and trouble for humans. Only hope stayed inside there, in its unbreakable home, under the lip of the jar. For she threw back the lid, before hope flew out the door. So willed great cloud-gathering Zeus. But 10,000 other afflictions wander among us. The earth has its fill of evils, and the sea is full, and sicknesses come by day to men and by night, roaming at will, bringing their evils in silence. For Zeus, the wise-minded, took out their voices. So there was no way at all to avoid Zeus's mind. And if you like, there is another account. You can sum it up well and with knowledge, and you can store it deep in your heart. How mortal men and the gods came to be from one source. Golden were the first kind of men who could speak, made by the undying gods who live on Olympus. They lived in Cronus' time, while he was king of high heaven. These men lived like the gods. Their hearts had no trouble. Toil and sorrow were far from them. Old age and its wretchedness did not come upon them. They rejoiced in abundance, with arms and legs never weakened, out of the reach of all evil. They died as if conquered by sleep, and all that is good was theirs. The fertile ploughland brought them crops without stinting, in plenty all on its own. They tended their fields as they pleased, at ease and at peace in abundance. Their blessings were many. They were rich in flocks and close to the gods who are happy. But when earth covered over this kind, who are spirits over the land, through great Zeus's designs, kindly warding off evil, guardians for mortal men, keeping close watch over judgments and pitiless deeds, clothed in mist, everywhere roaming over the land, and givers of wealth, for this kingly prize was theirs too. Then the gods on Olympus made another, a second kind, one made of silver and worse, not like the gold in body or mind. 100 years a child stayed by the side of his lady mother, a great infant, being raised and skipping about in the house. Then, when they were grown and had come to the measure of youth, through their folly they lived short lives full of pain, for they could not hold back from wrong. They outraged one another. They would not serve the immortals, nor sacrifice on their altars, which for humans, by custom, is right. So Zeus, son of Cronus, hid them in his anger, since they would not give honour to the gods who blessed hold Mount Olympus. But when earth had covered these two, who are called the mortal and blessed ones under the earth, a second kind of protector, but they have their honour as well. Then Zeus the father created another, a third kind of men of clear speech, a bronze race, not like the silver of ash trees, mighty and terrible. Their only care was the works of the war god, groans, outrage, and insolence. They did not eat bread, and the strong hearts in their breasts were of adamant. Their huge force was unapproachable. Ungraspable hands reached from the strong arms of their shoulders. Their weapons, their houses were bronze. Their work was with bronze. They had no black iron. And they, mastered by their own hands, went down to cold Hades' home in the shadows, nameless, taken for all their terrible power by dark death, and they left the bright light of the sun. But when the land had covered this kind too, Zeus, Cronus' son, made another on the nourishing land, a fourth kind, more just and better, of heroes like gods, men called half-gods, the race before ours, over the unmeasured earth. And of these, cruel war and the battle cry destroyed some under Thebes' 7 gates in Cadmus' land, fighting for Oedipus' flocks, and some went in ships and crossed the great gulf of the sea to Troy to fight for fair Helen. There, for some, the end that is death enfolded them, while for others, Zeus, Cronus' son, gave custom and livelihood far from mankind. And living at the edge of the earth, and the Father settled them there, and there they live, by deep flowing ocean on the isles of the blessed, heroes and happy, with hearts free from care, for whom the grain-giving ploughland bears crops thrice yearly, abundant and honey-rich. But for the fifth, I wish I'd never been born in this age, but either died first or been born after. For the age now is iron, and neither by day can men rest from labour and sorrow, nor by night as they perish away, and the gods will give more harsh trouble. Yet all the same, for these some good will be mixed with the evil. But Zeus will destroy them, this race of men with clear speech, when the children are born with grey heads. Then a father will fight with his children, children with their fathers, a guest will fight with his host, and comrade with comrade, and brothers will no longer be close as they once were. Parents unhonoured, blamed and reproached, will quickly grow old. Hard children will give them hard words, knowing no fear of the gods, and when they grow old will grudge to give back their rearing, manhandling justice. One man will ravage another man's city, no thanks and no grace for the keeping of oaths. None for a just man or a good one. They honour a man who does evil and praise outrage. Their justice lies in their hands, shame and respect will be gone. A bad man will harm his better with false speeches, and swear an oath to affirm them. Envy will be men's companion, harsh-worded, delighting in evil and hateful, and men will have misery. And then, their forms covered in white, forsaking mankind, for Olympus to be with the gods, away from the wide paths of the land, will go retribution and shame. And what will be left for men is bitter pain and no help against evil.